heard the mayor say today, because I was not privileged to go into her press conference, I was not on the list, I didn't make the cut, was that equity does not mean equality. Well, she's wrong about that, because all we are looking for is equity, fairness across all neighborhoods in the city of Boston. We want to be treated fairly, we want to be treated the same, and she's not doing that by allowing only the North End to pay the $7,500 fee that no other neighborhood in the city of Boston is required to pay. When we were told of this $7,500 fee on March 15th in our meeting with on Zoom with City Hall, we were told, we were all on board with having to pay a parking fee for the residents whose parking spaces would be displaced. We know a lot of our residents, we're friends with a lot of our residents, we care about our residents, and we understand that their parking spaces are being taken away from them. And so we were on board with paying $1,000 a month for that fee for them to be able to park in their parking garages that no other neighborhood in the city of Boston is paying for parking fee for their residents. If you go to South Boston on Broadway, those restaurants, each one are taking up at least 10 to 12 parking spaces, and they are not required, or they are not helping to pay their residents displaced parking spaces. But we in the North End were willing to do this. Mayor Wu was supposed to be about the women. Well, I'll tell you right now, there are 5 women businesses right on Salem Street. Women-owned businesses on Salem Street. She's not only hurting the women, the restaurant owners, she's hurting the waitresses, she's hurting the hostesses that we will be hiring during the summer months for outdoor seating. She's not just hurting the owners, the restaurant owners, she's hurting everybody else, the little guy who she claims to be for. But I didn't see that today in her press conference. And we just think that what's going on, we're being treated unfairly. If the whole city has to pay $7,500, we're right there with you. We're on board, we'll pay the $7,500. But we will not pay if we are the only city, the only neighborhood actually required to pay this amount. And that's all I have to say. If you have any questions.
The mayor said that she was going to allow some exemptions. Does that make it any better, or is it just still?
No, I mean, the mayor said she was going to allow for hardships. We always said this was never about money. However, for some people in the neighborhood, it is about money because they're smaller shops and they can't afford it. They're mom and pop shops. We're not big corporation restaurants. We're small family-owned businesses. All our families work in our businesses. So yes, there are people that cannot afford it, and I understand that. However, there shouldn't be a fee anyway. There shouldn't be a hardship fee. And who's going to determine the amount? What's this arbitrary number that they're going to come up with that's going to determine how much each person pays? They still haven't told us where this amount is going. When we were on the Zoom meeting, what they said was that it was going to pay for trash removal, for rodent control, for power washing our sidewalks. And then I spoke with Aaron Michaelwitz, and he said that was misconstrued. It actually isn't going to that, because we all know here, we pay city taxes. It's already in the city budget.
And private trash removal.
And that's right. All our restaurants, 7 nights a week, pay for private trash removal. They're all in green barrels, as you can see right there. But you can come out here on a Friday or a Saturday night, and I'm asking you all to, you'll see all resident trash right here in Bartlett Place. It doesn't look like a trash pickup. It looks like a city dump. The city wants to put on the backs of us restaurants to pay something that they should be paying for. There was a refrigerator out here for 2 weeks. Just the other day, it just got picked up. In 2 weeks with trash out here since Friday. Trash gets picked up Sunday night and Monday morning and Thursday morning. Sunday night trash goes out.
3-day pickup.
From a 3-day pickup. It went from a 3-day pickup to a 2-day pickup, not under Mayor Wu, but under Mayor Walsh. Why should they put the 3rd day that they want to put back on the backs of us restaurants? Why do we have to pay for this? The city should be paying for this, not us.
Carla, what's next?
We haven't retained an attorney. We're looking into that. We're weighing our options. We're gonna come together. Unfortunately, the city had a private meeting on Sunday, and I wasn't invited. And
None of us were invited.
None of us here were invited
Or knew about it.
to their secret meeting. I never knew about it. I actually found out this morning going up to City Hall about the secret meeting. And there were restaurant people that were there who they called, who they want at their meeting, because the city's about dividing and conquering. And unfortunately, we do have a few turncoats in the group that are allowing this to happen.
Carla, we all read the mayor's letter that she sent you guys on Friday, where she threatened to get rid of the program altogether. Is you guys okay?
Well, then she'll have a big lawsuit on her hands because she's making a threat, and on what grounds? If we don't decide to pay, tell everybody else in the city to pay.
Today she said that it wasn't a threat and that restaurant owners will be judged.
Well, what is that? That's a threat.
Yeah, but let me
What is
ask
that?
you-
Threat on a threat.
Let me ask you
What
a
does that
question.
mean coming from a city official?
Exactly. From a city official who earns a living out of our taxes, guys. Okay?
What does
a
that
public
mean?
servant. She's a public servant. She chose today to have a meeting in which she invited the most colorful members of our community, our neighborhood, if you wish. Okay? And they went in and what they did is they plotted against us. A half a dozen characters plotted against us. Okay, plotted against us. Okay, and they went against. And you know who she's screwing? Like Carla said, she's a family business. I'm a family business. Everybody here's a family business. Look at all these people. These people don't work for us. You know who's affected the most when we lose? Let's look at these guys. We can't open up till May 1st. The city opens up April 1st. If we have a mild spring, the restaurant, the North is going to be a ghost town. We are going to suffer. She wants to punish business owners. That's her decree. Okay, vicariously. She's screwing the dishwashers, the cooks, the waiters, the waitresses, the busboys, okay? And all those people. On top of it, guys. She said that the reason why they were implementing this is because the 311 calls to the city of Boston has skyrocketed over 2020 and 2021. We grabbed the numbers from the city, we sent them to one of the universities in Connecticut, and we had them do a study on the numbers. It is not true. We had less calls in 2021 than we had in 2020, than we had in 2018, than we had in 2017, and than we had in 2016. Not only that,
No outdoor dining.
a university. We had a university plug the numbers. We used a Connecticut university. Which ones? I'm not going to name it. I'm not going to name it. I don't care what you need. On top of it, don't use them. Okay. On the other hand, okay, we also found out that some of the calls were repeated calls from the same number. People calling from the same issue 10 times. If you call the 311 on the city number and you say, hey, there's a heroin needle on the corner of Parmenta and Salem, they're going to respond to you, we took care of it. And the heroin needle is going to sit there for another 5 days. This is an inept management team for the city of Boston who has chosen the wrong battle, okay? Because divided, we're not divided. None of the people who were on her side today were ever part of our group. They were not part of our group. Those
Everybody
people
here
were
was not invited. Nobody here was
None of us
on the
were
list
invited.
to get in the
None of us were
to
invited.
a public meeting.
To a public
None
meeting
of us
in
were
our
allowed
city
on
hall.
that list.
In our city hall, guys. In our city hall. The city hall that our taxpayers pay for. The number one employee of the city, Michelle Wu, okay, with her hacks, plotting against our neighborhood, with people from our neighborhood, who are the biggest cowards that walk our neighborhood, okay? And they're going to be addressed as such.
Are any of you guys going to pay the fee if this ends up sticking?
No, we're going to pay the attorneys.
Yeah.
We're going to pay the
Are you
attorneys.
saying you can
We are
afford it
suing.
without
Yeah,
out
we are
of
suing.
We
We are
never,
suing.
out of principle?
we never said this was about money. I just stated that there are some restaurants that it is about money. They're very small restaurants, they can't afford to pay it. But me speaking, and I know a whole bunch of us, it was never about money for us. It was about, for the majority of us, it was about the principles. That's correct.
It's about being discriminated against, guys. Okay, we're talking about everybody's rights today.
want to be treated
Everybody's right.
fairly.
We want to be treated equally. There are 11,000 restaurants in the city of Boston, guys. She's targeting 100. There's another 10,900 restaurants that are going to enjoy free patios. I asked one of you earlier today, if you're working at the office and tomorrow they come in and they grab five of you out of the 100 and they tell you, we're going to take $700 and $500 of your pay because you've done too well because you're a particular case, because you're single, because you don't have children, because your children are at college, whatever the situation is, will you stand for that or would you feel discriminated? Okay, we're equal opportunity employers. Imagine if we treated the people that come through our doors for employment that way. Okay, imagine if we treated our customers that way. I would say, no, you don't qualify. You can't come in. You know, you're a different type. You're a different race. You're a different thing. You're a different. Exactly. What would it be like if you came to the restaurant, we charge you $7,500 for imperial pasta when the guy next door is having the same pasta for $75? Come on, be realistic.
Carla, how many restaurants would you say are represented here today? Like how many owners?
Probably 20.
Oh, 20.
About 20 restaurants.
And a lot of people are, worried about?
Well, a lot of people are working. It's right now. Not everybody is here. That is on board. That we've been talking to. So not everybody could be here today. Not everybody could be at City Hall today.
People are afraid of retaliation.
And nobody was invited.
Nobody was invited.
Talk about the emotional actually. Obviously, you guys are very emotional and animated about that. What is fueling this so much?
It's the unfairness.
It's unfair.
It's unfair.
I mean, it's pretty basic. It's unfair.
Guys, we took a beating over the pandemic. We
Over
took
the
a
past
serious
few years,
beating.
we've taken
Okay.
pennies.
What if-
On
Man,
bills.
Most restaurants are losing $15,000 to $20,000 a week with the mandates in place with the vaccination cards and the masks and everything else. The Restaurant Association stated that number.
Right.
And now you want to come after us for another $7,500 plus parking, plus barricades, plus insurance.
Bayou wants everybody that can't afford it to fill out a hardship application.
It's ridiculous.
Well, tell Mayor Wu, what about the ARPA fee, the ARPA money? That was designated just for COVID relief for businesses. This $7 million still left in that fund. Where is that? I know where some of that
I don't know
was
where that
used.
money is.
That was used for the MBTA free bus rides. Why isn't she using that to help out the restaurants that can't afford it? Or why doesn't she just take that $7 million and pay for all these things that she's asking us to pay for in that $7,500 fee?
How about go to the
There's a lot
seaport
of
and some
ARPA
of these
money
corporations
left.
pay?
What are they going to do with the leftover ARPA money?
You're not saying that the fee is warranted, that the city should use the money to cover this fee.
No, there shouldn't be any fee. We're saying there shouldn't be any
Why
fee.
should there be any fee?
Yeah, let me ask you a
I'm just
question.
asking for clarification.
They still haven't come up with a reason. When I spoke with Aaron again, had a couple of conversations with him. When he said that those items that the street cleaning and all that was misconstrued, I said, well, what are the fees going to? He said, well, we're thinking about maybe beautifying the north end. Putting it into
The north end is beautiful.
putting it into the Nazaro Center, kids clubs, whatever. Well, the Nazaro Center is still closed after 2 or 3 years. I don't have children that young.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and why should the restaurants be paying for that? We donate to these people. We donate to these organizations with all of our money. We give gift certificates. We do all that. Whenever they ask for money, we were always very generous and we were always given checks. But why isn't that budgeted in the city? It is in every other neighborhood.
And how about the
People who love your restaurant, who want to come here and eat out on the patio this summer, are you going to be able to do that?
I can't answer that question right now. I have no idea.
we don't know.
We only have till April 10th to find out.
And how about the city has an entire year to figure all this
This
out?
weekend we had a huge outpour of solidarity by our neighbors and support. They came over to support us in numbers. People are signing letters of support. We are collecting letters as we speak. We got a few hundred letters already. We're prepared to collect several thousand letters. She's using numbers against us that don't exist.
George, and also filling out the application, we're all pending.
Yeah.
Right? You had 1 year to figure this out. We're all
Exactly.
pending. Then, boom, all of a sudden we found out we were going to be charged $7,500. What is that about? You had 1 year to figure this out.
There was also another thing I'd like to say as far as equality. Speaking to Aaron Michaelwitz this morning on a call, he said that next year everybody is going to be charged a fee. Every neighborhood throughout the city of Boston is going to be charged. Okay,
So
that's
what are we, the
fair.
pilot program?
However, he said, the North End will still be charged more.
And you know what it is, too, guys?
What is this?
They have our meals tax numbers. They know we made money. We're a very successful neighborhood. They threw the seaport at us, and we are still doing better. They threw North Station at us, and we're doing better.
Assembly
They're
Row.
opening up against us everywhere. We opened up a farmer's market, and they were advertising in our businesses, calling our employees to steal our employees to run them for them. This is an ongoing problem, you know what I mean? And the problem that we have is that we have a couple of worms among us, okay? A couple of worms who are eating our apples here, you know what I mean? And we gotta get rid of those worms. But other than that, you know what I mean? We're gonna stick together. We are going to, listen, if I have to sue alone, I'll sue alone. Okay, if I have to fight alone, I'll fight alone.
And
There's 20 people here that are on board. And there's more people, you know what people are? They're afraid.
The
Okay.
city of Boston also wants to be named on our insurance policy.
Exactly.
So what is that about?
Exactly.
Even the insurance agents don't understand
And
this.
that's another $1,500
And that's more money.
Now, are you guys finding, I've heard inspectional services comes more often if you
Oh, yeah.
speak up. Is that,
Absolutely.
So you speak up, and they come over in the middle of the night and they pay you a visit. They pay you a visit. In the middle of the night, you got a full house, and you got the inspector with a flashlight busting your chops because they heard about you on the news. But listen, look at what happened today, guys. She's been announced in a press conference. It was Friday 1st at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the intersection of Cross and Hanover. It never happened. She took all weekend to meddle and have private meetings. Okay, this is the servant of the city. This is the top servant of the city, the mayor of the city. And she did it behind closed doors. She only called on people who were willing to partake because they have business deals, they have real estate deals going on, okay? And she targeted those people. Okay, those people went around the neighborhood telling us all how we were all buddies and we're all friends and we're all gonna stick together. They went, they had a private meeting on Sunday and they stabbed us all in the back.
And
In
we
the
went
worst
up there
fashion.
today. We weren't allowed
Today, she
in.
calls the meeting up, she announces that there's gonna be a meeting, we get there and there's an attendance roster. Nobody in the attendance roster is from the North End except for the 6 characters that are stabbing us in the back. And the rest of us are supposed to sit outside while they are meeting about us. Just think of that for a second, okay? And you guys are all going around proclaiming for liberty, for freedom, for equality. Look at this. You know, this is, you know what this is? This is one of the original working class neighborhoods of Boston. Okay, the Irish live here, blacks live here, Jewish live here, Italians live here. And you know what the common denominator is? We were all poor. We all started with nothing and we built up businesses. Now, we're no longer the flavor of the week. Now we are an unruly bunch that need to be controlled and need to be reined in. And how are they going to rein us in? By making us less competitive. Okay, we gave the Seaport a beating the last few years. Half the restaurants in the Seaport bankrupt. We're all still here. How do you make it a level playing field? You handicap the North End. You got your winning horse and you tie up his front leg so he can run. Okay? While the other neighborhoods in the city rise up. That's what they're doing. And you know who they're supporting in the Seaport? Corporations.
why would they
Why are they doing it? You tell me, are they doing it or they're not doing it? They're doing it. But why are they doing it?
You're saying that they're doing it.
Huh?
Why do you think that
I'm gonna tell you why I think they're doing it. I'm gonna tell you something. It's an attack for me, from my point of view. I speak for myself, I don't speak for anybody else. It's an attack on an ethnic minority,
Small business.
an European ethnic minority or small business owners. We have one thing in common in the North End. You say, well, you guys don't agree. No, we don't agree. In the best capitalist fashion, we don't agree. And that's their health. We all do something different. You can go from al dente tobacco and have two completely different menus. That's the beauty of it. And that's what they don't like. You know what they will like? They will like Pizzeria Uno, Sweet Cheeks. They will like Chick-fil-A. They will like legal seafoods. They will like guys that they can call the phone and say, hey, pal, yeah, we gotta raise to 15 minimum wage, and you gotta. Everybody has to get a free ribbon with their dinner, and everybody says, oh yes, master, yes, master. That's the difference. Here we don't agree.
Corporate restaurants.
We don't agree.
taking
How
control.
do you keep 70 restaurants
Small
running
businesses,
successfully in
they
the
can't.
neighborhood if we all serve the same thing? Okay.
Today it's the North End. Right now, you guys don't have an attorney, but you're considering getting one.
No,
We're
no,
talking to
no,
someone
no,
right
we
now.
have an attorney.
We have an attorney. We haven't hired him. We haven't retained him.
Hey, all he's waiting for is a check. Okay, all right. And the check is a lot smaller than the
next
check
step.
than what the city wants. Okay, listen to me. Hey, you got 20 restaurants here. Okay, $7,500 a head. Do the math. Okay, do the math. We can afford an attorney. Okay, and the other one is this too. And the other one is this too. I can guarantee you. Okay, guarantee you that my restaurant is going to be full, whether I have an outdoor party or not. Because it's been full for 30 years. Okay, and my brother's restaurant is going to be busy. Her restaurant, she has a great restaurant. This one is one of the best Italian restaurants in the country right now, in the city. I mean, all right. She has Antico Photo. We're going to be busy. And you know what our customers are doing? Hey, my reservations, we spoke on Thursday last week, my reservations went to the roof. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what we're getting? We're getting support because you know what? The only people who believe in this shit is you guys and the communists. The rest of us don't believe in it. Okay? So the rest of the population doesn't believe in this crap. So that's where we're at.
Also, the 75 arbitrary fee, the meals tax that they are going to be collecting just for the outdoor dining alone, would cover the $7,500 fee and more. So why create this? Why create this division between business owners in the city? It doesn't make any sense. They, in the neighborhood, create the division between residents and restaurant owners. When so many residents come into our restaurants all the time. I mean, why create this division?
We get that. As soon as the attorney is ready.
We're already talking with an attorney.
As soon as the attorney is ready.
ironing
Let me
things
put it this
out.
way. You know, you're asking, when are you going to file suit? Okay. It's going to make big news, okay? It's going to make big news. But let me tell you something. We can't open till May 1st. We got plenty of time. She has a deadline. She has to make it up. Listen, she's digging. Listen, she's in a hole. She's got a shovel. Okay? And instead of climbing out of the fucking hole, she keeps on digging. Okay? She keeps on digging. She keeps on digging. She keeps on digging. If she was in the right, her attorneys would have told her, speak on Friday, give these people the middle finger, okay? And they told her no. She's backtracking, okay? Aaron Michael's an attorney, he's an attorney, a mediocre attorney at best. He's ill advising her. All she needs to do is she needs to realize that, hey, the summer outdoor program fight she wants to have, she needs to have it next year. She needs to have it with the whole city. One of the things I want to say, okay, the Massachusetts Restaurant Association is a bunch of hypocrites. There are another 10,900 restaurants in the city. None of them have showed any solidarity for their small businesses, the Small Business Coalition in the North End. They are a bunch of cowards, okay? If this was happening in Back Bay and we could do something for them, we would. All right? They're not doing anything for us. They haven't even called us. Okay? No idea. They haven't even called us. The Massachusetts Restaurant Association, a bunch of hypocrites. Okay? And on the same token, anybody want to make a bet with me here? Who wins this lawsuit? Anybody want to make a bet? Do you think there's a judge out there that is going to say, yes, discrimination is okay? We heard it on Channel 7 News. Discrimination is fine. Michelle Wu says that prejudice is good. Okay, Michelle Wu says that white people are bad. Division is good. She came over and stirred our gravy here, our Sunday gravy. Okay? And now we have a melange of stupidity. Okay? She's in trouble. She's gonna regret it. She's in for a fight. She better roll up her sleeves. And if she wasn't walking it back, she would not hide in her office today like a coward. Okay? Surrounded by the cowards from a neighborhood who don't have the balls to stand up with their neighbors. Okay? It's a fucking joke. All right? It's a joke. All right? We were told that we couldn't speak. If we were a man, we could not speak at this hearing because she doesn't like fighting with men. Okay? That's pathetic. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Also, we were told we weren't able to open April 1st like the rest of the city, and we had to close September 30th if we were good little children, and everybody else will go to December 31st. And because a few bad apples that created maybe something last year with the outdoor dining, well, why take it out on the whole neighborhood? We have to compete with other neighborhoods, with the Seaport, with South Boston, with the South End. Why take that privilege away from us because of a few people? It's just none of what she is doing makes sense, and hurting us in that way. It just doesn't make any sense at all. And it's Mayor who wants to be a good mayor, and if she stands up for the women and all the 8 women businesses that are owned in this North End, then she'll do away with this fee and let us all come together and be one and just get along and not cause this division between residents and our restaurants.
Exactly, Harvard degree. She has a Harvard degree. She has a Harvard degree, and she doesn't know the first thing about business. She's 36 years old. She's a mother, okay, and she doesn't know the first thing about running a business.
Okay, we're all done here. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.